You say, that's me. How many of you are in this room because you not only want to make more money, but you aspire to create a legacy in the world? If that's you, say, that's me. Give yourself a round of applause and bring it away. I'm going to say to the staff, so I hope people master their internal world so they can have anything they want in the external world. Now today, this ain't going to be a motivational speech. I'm not a speaker of information, I'm a speaker of transformation. And in order for us to get some transformation today, I'm going to have to show you things that you don't want to see so you can strip power away from those things. Is there anyone in here that's okay with getting uncomfortable today? If that's you, say yes? Yes! Awesome. Now, there's a few things that I want to get started, I want to give you so you get the most out of this session. I'm just curious, how many of you, before I start, how many of you have ever seen me before? How many of you never seen me before? Put them up high if you got it. I'll take donations if you don't want your arm. I've never seen you before. This will be the first time, alright? Now, there's a few things that I want you to know before we get started. And I gotta go fast. Someone say fast. That's weak. Is it okay if I start the coaching now? You see, one of the greatest skills that you can learn in your business and in life is what we call pattern recognition. Pattern what? Recognition. Pattern recognition. You see, neuroscience shows that by the age of 35 years old, you are 95% unconscious. How many of you are over 35? Oh, shoot. But that means by the age of 35, your actions, your words, your emotions, your triggers, the way that you show up in the world is on autopilot. And that means only 5, someone hold the 5 fingers for me, after 10. Wait a minute. That means only 5% of your brain is trying to make a conscious change. That's why change is so hard. And so patterns show up everywhere, not just in your body, but show up in your mind, your relationships, and your wealth. And so the first thing that I want you to jot down, I want you to get your notes out. The first thing that I want you to jot down is one of the most important laws. And it's called the law of energy conservation. Now, the law of energy conservation states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can only change form. Now, how many of you would agree with a show of hands that as a human being, you are an energetic being? Wave at me if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Now, as an energetic being, the truth is, we'll let the coaching start now, you cannot be a low energy source and expect high level income. You cannot be a low energy individual and expect high level relationships, high level impact, high level fulfillment. And the truth is, if you don't play full out here, I can promise you play half-assed at home. With your clients, with your kids, with your husband, with your wife. And so how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if we're going to get the most out of today, we must be committed. Someone say committed. Ooh, to staying in a high energy state. Now why is that important? Well, neuroscience also shows that if you sit there passively, you retain about 0 to 7% of the information. Now I'm going to come all this way, invest your time, your energy, and money to retain 0 to 7% of the information. But studies show that if you physically write things down, that beautiful hand your creator gave you that it didn't give me, then you still don't leverage as much as you should. Oh, I'm sorry. If you physically write things down, you can retain about 40 to 50% of the information, and that's amazing, but I want to get you to an outstanding level. And if you want to go to an outstanding level, you can retain about 80 to 90% of the information that all of these speakers speak, including me, if you keep your body in what we call a learning state. A learning what? State. A learning state. Because I jotted down, all learning is state-based. That's why school is so boring, because they shoved information at you and there's no interaction. Can I get an yes on that one? Yes. Right? Woo. Okay. I'm right today. Now, the other law that I want you to jot down is something that we call the law of exposure. The law of what? Exposure. The law of exposure. Now, what the law of exposure states is the moment I'm exposed to information that can change the quality of my life, the moment I'm exposed to a great way of being, a great way of living, a great way of doing life, once I'm exposed, I can never be unexposed again. Now, I'll give you an example. If I took this whole room on a private jet, none of you would ever want to fly Spirit again. True or false? True or false? Because you've been exposed to a higher standard of life. And so is it okay, this clock, yo, I gotta go move fast. Is it okay over these next 30, 35 minutes, I expose you information that can change the quality of life forever? If that's okay, say yes? Yes! She's in there. Who is that? Who is that? Let's go. You're on a ball over here. I got going and how I got here so you have some context. If that's okay, say yes? Yes! Because the truth is, I can... Let's go. The truth is, I can share some amazing information, but if I don't tell you why I look like this, you're going to be like, did you get beat up by a shark? Was it a wood-shifting accident? What's going on? So let me get this out of the way. There's a few stories I wanted to know. The first story is I'm 27 years old now. When I was 20 years old, I moved from New Jersey. Do we have Jersey in here? I've never seen anyone yell that loud for Jersey. You totally threw me off. And so at 21 or 20 years old, I moved from Jersey to Tampa to become a bodybuilder. Now, when I told the world that I was going to become a bodybuilder, they said, Nick, there's no way that you can become a bodybuilder. You have no legs. And I said, well, most bodybuilders skip leg day anyway. I said, I am. Way back when you skip leg day, you know who you are. Come on, wave them. Don't lie. The truth will set you free. And so I moved to Tampa, and one of my mutual friends, he comes up to me and goes, bro, he said, you got to come to my mastermind. I'm like, what's a mastermind? I was like, you know. People sit around and think about things. Okay, I've never been to a mastermind. And so I go to this room, and there's about 8 people in the room. It wasn't full as this room. And I go in this room, and everybody's sharing their story, and they look at me, and they're like, what's your story? I'm like, I got a long story. You got a long time. And so I started to share my story, and after I was done sharing my story, no joke, there was a man to the left of me that I've never met in my life, and he looked me in my eyes and he said, you're going to be on stage with Tony Robbins one day. And I said, who's Tony Robbins? Remember, all disclosure, I wasn't exposed to this world. And then he says, I'm going to work for you for free. I said, that's sketchy. True or false? He's back there, he can hear you. True or false? And so he said, no, I feel compelled to help you. I love your story. He said, I'm going to work for you for free, and if one day you like the work we do, maybe one day we'll start a company together. That was 6 years ago, 2 multi-7-figure companies later, and I'm currently touring the world with Tony Robbins. Now, y'all are going to learn that I love myself, so it's okay, I love myself. I know I'm great. But the reason why I share this is because I didn't know any of this. My life changed the moment that I got in the room. Someone say, get in the room. Get in the room. Say it like you mean it. Someone say, get in the room. Get in the room. Would you agree? Your life changes when you get in the room with people who have the life and the results that you want. You see, jot it down. Success rewards speed. Success rewards what? Speed. I don't know about you. I'm trying to get rich fast, not very slow. And so if you want to condense time, you've got to find people who have the life and results that you want so you can learn from them so they can condense time for you. And so your life will change when you get in the room. But also, sometimes, my friend, it takes a different person from a different walk of life to see a gift in you that you didn't see in yourself. How many of you in this room had a friend or a mentor that saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself? Just wait a minute if you're going to want to put it down. And it changed your life forever. Now, the other story was a little bit over 3 years ago was my dad's birthday. And I called my dad, and I'm like, yo, Dad, you're getting old. Happy birthday. I love you so much. How's my brother? How's my sisters? If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love you. And I was living across country, so I couldn't see him. And so I hung the phone up. And about 3 hours later, I get a FaceTime from my dad. And so I pick the phone up. He's hysterical crying. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, son, he's dead. And I said, who? He said, I'm at the conference with your mother. Your brother's at the feet. They cut his heroin into a fentanyl. He's not coming back. And he said, I don't have the strength to tell your older sisters, can you do it for me? So I said, yes, sir. And I hung the phone up and I called my older sisters and let them know that their brother wasn't coming back this time. Now I'm just curious, because now I do this work, helping you get sober. How many of you, directly or indirectly, are affected by alcoholism or substance abuse? Put them up high for your brothers and sisters looking around the room. Put them up high. If you don't raise your hand, you lie about other things. And And so the reason why I tell that story is because if you want to really master your internal world, you must understand that your brain is a problem-solving mechanism. And your brain is always going to give you an answer to the questions that you ask. But the truth is, most of you are programmed to ask terrible questions. And so is it okay if I give you two of the most powerful questions that I've trained my brain to ask in moments of trials and tribulations? Can I give you these two questions? Yes or yes? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. Now the first question in moments of trials and tribulations and challenges that I ask myself, and I train my brain, you can't just do it once you got to train it, is the first question that I ask myself is, what's the gift or what's the learning? Jot it down. What's the gift or what's the learning? Now, by the way, I'm going to coach you again. There are people in here right now who aren't taking notes when there's a multimillionaire on stage who has no legs, no arms, and is living more of a life than you do. That's your problem. Ooh, I can't swim. You don't know that. Let's do the work here. Now, the first question, what's the gift and what's the learning? Now, the truth is, as a human being, you can obliterate or annihilate your suffering by finding enough gifts or finding enough learning. But the truth is, sometimes you ain't ready for the gift. You want to sit in your poopy diaper, and that's okay. I've been there. I'm a human. I ain't preaching from a place perfect. But you tell me, have you ever seen a one-sided piece of paper? No. One-sided dollar bill? No. One-sided loaf of bread? Not because you never exceed, because it physically can't exist. Everything in your life has a negative and has a positive, but you get what you focus on. And most of you are trained to focus on what's wrong in your life. That's your biggest issue. Now, by the way, all I'm going to do here, I'm your baby Yoda for today. Why not? Sure. But the reason why my students call me baby Yoda is because I realize that the greatest leaders aren't here to give you answers. Who the hell am I? I'm not here to give you answers, to tell you how to live your life. What I've learned about the greatest leaders is that great leaders ask great questions to lead their people to their own breakthroughs. So that's all I'm going to do is lead you to your own breakthrough with specific questions. And so when I ask myself that question, what's the gift, what's the learning, the first thing that my brain told me was your brother's suffering is over. I watched this man go from sober, not sober, the battle was not. The second gift and the second learning that I got was, my dad thought me, a man with no legs and arm, was man enough to do something that he couldn't do in the moment. What a gift and what a blessing. Because the truth is, my friend, as a man with no legs and arms, there's a lot of times where I don't feel like a man. I can't really do long walks on the beach. I may not be able to carry all the groceries in one haul, pick up ladies, whatever it may be. I'm saying physically. I can pick up ladies, but I'm saying physically. Come on, now, snap your fingers if you pick up one of them. And so, understand that your brain is the best detective. Jot this down. Your brain is the best detective, and it's always going to find evidence to prove your beliefs right. That's why you better have some good beliefs. Some of you have beliefs that you're just not lucky. Some of you have beliefs that you just get the short end of the stick. And guess what? Even if you don't have the short end of the stick, you'll find it, you'll create it, to prove yourself right. Welcome to the Matrix. Welcome to your cycle. Now, the second question that I asked myself, and I actually noted it before this, the second question I asked myself in moments of trials and tribulations is, who am I going to become? Someone say become. Someone say become. Who am I going to become because I'm going through this? And in that moment, my brain gave me the answer. I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to master human behavior and psychology so no one has to suffer like my brother did. What if I were to tell you that you look at me, you're like, look at this disabled guy, I look at your mindset, I'm like, you're really handicapped. It's your operating system. You see, oftentimes we think it's the external things that are going to give us the result. If you're honest with yourself, how many of you have ever gone to a conference, wrote a whole bunch of notes, got really fired up, and went home and did nothing with the information? Put them up high if you're picking up one and put down. She said no, she lies about other things. Is it okay if I speak direct? Can I speak direct? Say yes? Yes. If you're honest, how many of you know the foundational strategy to lose weight? And if you don't, can I teach you? Lean in, right? We put that spoon in this hole. You move your body around, and the weight falls off. Now, how many of you have your dream body? Yes. What gets in the way? Cake. Or your psychology. So why do I share that? Jot it down. Business and in life, 80% is psychology, 20% is mechanics. Most of you know what to do. Most of you have the strategies, yet you still haven't done it. You go to an event after an event, you write notes after notes, you get strategies after strategies, and you still suck like Chuck in the pickup truck. So I'm going to help you upgrade your psychology today. So you can master your internal world, so you can have anything you want in the external world. Now the last and final story is when I was born. In 1996, my parents went in for a late ultrasound. They sat them down, they pulled the baby up on the screen, and suddenly the doctor started freaking out. And they said, what's wrong? And he said, well, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like your baby's limbs are being developed. My friends, in specific, they said it looks like he's missing his legs, he's missing his arms, and his face is messed up. Can you zoom in on this? It's beautiful. Did they lie about my face? Yes or yes? I know they lied. But they classify me with what we call hand-heart syndrome. And hand-heart syndrome means the babies with undeveloped limbs or undeveloped organs. At the time of my birth in 1996, I was the 12th baby in medical history that they've ever seen this happen to. And out of the 12, 8 of those babies have passed away due to undeveloped organs. They looked my parents in their eyes and said, your baby boy has a 30% chance to live. Now the reason why I share that with you is because in that moment my parents made a decision. Someone say decision. Decision. You see, oftentimes you think changing your life is this big, drastic, overwhelming thing, but in reality, your life changes in a moment of decision. Or you've been programmed a certain way. You see, most of your beliefs were cultivated between 0 and 7 years old, because your brain was in what we call theta state. What kind of state? Theta state. You're very suggestible. Dog, dog, bird, bird. Well, let's play a little game here. If you've ever heard this as a little boy or a little girl, I just want you to raise your hand. We can't afford that. Rich people are evil. They probably screwed someone over for that Lamborghini. What about this? My favorite one, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. You know they print it in a building, right? Y'all know that? They print it way too much. What about this one? Time is money. Yes. What about five? Yes. Time is money. Jot this down. Whoever told you time is money didn't have time, they didn't have money. Why is that? Because if I were to tell you, I'm going to wire you $1 million when I get off stage, but you can't wake up tomorrow, would you take the deal? She said, I would not. You would not. Why? That just proves right there that time, jot it down, time is infinitely more valuable than money. You see, poverty thinking is trading time for money. Wealthy thinking is using your money to get your time back. Where are you? How about this one? Big boys don't cry. Raise your hand if you have a hand. What about this, ladies? Big girls don't cry. Put them up high. Ladies are playing way more for loud than men. I'm probably jealous of my looks. And at an early age, listen to me, at an early age you believe money was hard to make. At an early age you believe that you couldn't afford it. At an early age, you believed that big boys and big girls don't cry, so you weren't taught how to deal with your emotions, and so you soothe and you soothe and you soothe, until one day you're depressed, you're suicidal, you're full of anxiety and stress, and you don't know why. Because they didn't teach you how to deal with your emotions. Now, before I even move forward, if you really want to liberate yourself, in no way, shape, or form am I throwing stones at whoever raised you. Would you agree that whoever raised you did the best they could with what they knew in their current program? Can I get a yes on that? Yes. Now, the reason why I'm so passionate about you people here, and I love you so much, is because you're the one. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the truth is, every 60, 80 years, someone comes along in the bloodline that changes it for everybody. They break the generational curses, they break the generational traumas, they break the chains, they give their family, their bloodline, new money, new opportunities, new hope, new fulfillment, new psychology, new beliefs. Is there anyone in here that wants to be the one in their family that changes for the bloodline? Can I get a yes on that one? Can I get a yes on that one? Repeat after me. I'm the one. And guess what? If it ain't you, your bloodline's going to have to wait another 60 to 80 years for someone to step up. You want to wait? No. I ain't even got legs and I'm stepping up. I'm the one in my family. I'm retiring my parents. The guy with no legs and an arm, retiring mom and dad. Breaking the chains, making it home. I'm small problems. Ooh. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take you back to that story. My parents had a decision. And the decision was that they were going to focus on the 30% chance to be living versus the 70% chance to be dying. Why? Jot it down. What I focus on, I get more of. What I focus on, I get more of. What I focus on expands, but most importantly, what I focus on, I feel. And what I feel is my life. Now let's break this down. Hey, in front row. Hey. You're in hypnosis. This is why you stay stuck. What you focus on, you feel. And what you feel is your life. And if what you feel is your life, jot this down. The quality of my life comes down to the quality of the emotions I feel on a day-to-day basis. Now I'll prove it to you. How many of you in this room know people who have money who are still pissed off and angry? Okay, point to them. And then you go to a third world country. And you see a kid running down the street kicking a can, and he's giggling, and he's happy, and he's happier than you. You're like, damn, who's really rich? It's the person who's experiencing the emotions they want to feel on a day-to-day basis. Now, our generation is taught to soothe. How do we soothe? We soothe with alcohol, food, drugs, porn, video games, scrolling. But I want you to jot it down. In order to heal it, you have to feel it. And if you never feel it, you never heal it. Even if all of you went out of this room and had a whole bunch of success, you wouldn't feel it at all. Because you got stones over your heart. You got bricks and bricks and bricks over your heart. Is it okay if I help you come back to flesh today? If that's okay, say yes. Yes. Now, going back to pattern recognition, I'm going to show you things that don't serve you so you can strip power away from them. The first exercise that I'm going to take you through, and I hope I can have some more time because we're just getting started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through three, how many? Three focus patterns that screw most humans and entrepreneurs up. Because if you can become aware of these problems, you can strip power away from the things that don't serve you. Now, by the way, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. This is just where you're at. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I just want you to jot it down so you're at my base room. Is this okay? Wait a minute if you don't want to put it down. Now, the first question, the first focus pattern. We can throw in some music if you like as well. And the first focus pattern is in my life. The majority of the time, do I focus on the things that I have or the things that I don't have? Take a second. With my body, with my relationships, with my bank account, my business, where do I find my focus? Now, of course, you focus on both, but maybe one pattern is more dominant than the other. Do I find myself focusing on the things that I have? Or I always focus on all that I don't have? And by the way, change is hard. Your brain don't want to do this exercise. So it's going to go, I got these. Well, let me pick up my phone. Let me make that call. Now, if you're honest, because the truth will set you free. How many of you are like, Nick, I tend to find myself focusing on all that I don't have in my life? Put them up high for your brothers and sisters around the room. Put them up high. Appreciate your honesty. How many of you are trying to make a conscious decision to focus on all that you do have? How many of you, like, this room's so big, you can't see me, I'm not going to raise my hand regardless of what he said? I see you. I saw you. I don't see you. I see you. Now take a man with no legs and an arm, for example. If I didn't train my brain and I let my brain run the show and I was on autopilot, and a man with no legs and an arm woke up every single day and focused on all the things that he didn't have, is Nick's life good or is it bad? Quick. And because it's bad, do I feel good or do I feel bad? And do I take good action or bad action? Do I get good results or bad results? Welcome to your cycle. Second question. In my life, the majority of the time, do Do I find myself focusing on the things that I can control or the things that I can't control? How many of you would agree with a show of hands? There's a lot of things in this world that we just cannot control. How many of you still get this off the travel? Good luck going against business with me. If you let something so minute in the external world dictate how you feel internally, good luck. Jot it down. My success is directly correlated to how much chaos I can withstand. Someone say chaos. Chaos. Now there's a few things that I want you to jot down that you can't control. And apparently I got 3 minutes left and they're kicking me off and I'm just getting started. So I'm going to speed up.
Take your time. We love you, man.
3 things that you can't control. Jot them down. First thing. Your focus, I already talked about. Can you control your focus? Yes or yes? Yes. Yes or yes? Yes. How fast can you change your focus? Quick. Second thing that you can't control, which you're exercising in this moment, is the content that you consume on a day-to-day basis. You are what you eat. And the last and final thing that you can't control is the people that you surround yourself with on a day-to-day basis. I'll just speak to you directly. If you hang around broke people, you become what? If you hang around people who are unhealthy, you become unhealthy. If you hang around people who are toxic, you start to become toxic. And when you hang around people who have no standards, it's only a matter of time before you start lowering your own damn standards. And by the way, you're getting on. Now, by the way, I am not telling you, do not go home. You're like Uncle Bob. I was at this conference. This guy with the old lady's arm. He told me to cut you off! Don't do that. But jot it down. Do what I call love them from afar. How many of you agree to just keep some people that you gotta distance yourself from? You gotta love them from afar. You give yourself a round of applause. Where's that team at? Team confirm me. Is this what it is? Just so I know. I'm going to wrap up here. Where we at? Hold on. Give you a few more things. I'll end off, I think, with one of the most important skills that I've learned. By the way, my first seminar is 14 hours. I got 30 minutes up here. There's only so much that I can give you today. I had 2 more exercises to give you, but I think we're running out of time when we wrap up. It's totally okay. Third question. You can bring me back. I'll give you the third question. She wants the third question. In my life, the majority of times, where do I find my focus? In the past, the present, or the future? Hold on, don't answer yet. Shut it down, please think about it. Where do I find my focus? In the past, the present, or the future? Now, real quickly, we're going to move this along. How many of you, by the way, I've trained over 1 million people live. You all have a different external body, but inside you have the same power. So watch this. Look around the room. How many of you, if you answer the question honestly, you spend most of your energy focusing on the future? Put it on pause. Look around the room. And I love that it does about you because you're an action taker, you're an achiever. You always focus on the next goal, the next dream, the next invoice, the next client. But the truth is, if you're always focused on the future, you're going to miss all the blessings that are right in front of you. How many of you in this room right now have something in your life that was once a prayer, once a wish, and once a hope? I don't know how. How many of you trying to make a conscious decision to focus on the present moment? That's hard, right? That's really hard. Now, if you're honest, how many of you are like, hey, I tend to find myself focusing on the past? I'll tell you why the brain does this. The reason why the brain does this is because your brain wants to remind you of the things you sucked at, the things you failed, so you don't try them again, so you don't change. bodies up, shake your bodies up, shake your bodies up. Notebooks down, phones down. We're going to put on different music, and all I'm going to have you do is I want you to listen to my voice. This is an exercise that the 1%, someone say 1%. 1%. The 1% use. The geeky term for this is called neuron mirroring. The brain cannot decipher what's real and what's visualized, it has no idea. But the regular term is called a little blessing meditation. So all I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to listen to my voice. We're going to start off with 6 deep breaths. How we're going to do the 6 deep breaths is we're going to breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth like you're blowing out of a straw. I'm going to talk you through the deep breaths. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 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 Make this last deep breath your deepest breath in. Deep breath in. Hold it. Deep breath out. I want you to put your hands over your heart. I want you to breathe deep into your heart. What's pretty amazing about your heart is that it was given to you. It was a gift. You didn't have to work for it. The moment that heart stops, so does life. What a gift. Breathe deep into your heart and give thanks for that organ that keeps you alive. Now I want you to float to a moment in your life that you can feel extremely grateful for. It can be a big moment. It can be a small moment. But a moment for you that you can feel extremely grateful for. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt. I'm feeling so grateful for that moment. That's it. Feel it. He was the birth of a child. When you have that moment, just whisper yes. Say yes. Let's go to another moment. Go to a moment in your life now that you feel extremely proud of yourself. Be a big moment, a small moment, but a moment for you when you felt so proud of yourself. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt. Feeling so proud of yourself. That's it. When you have that moment, just whisper yes. Say yes. That's it. The last moment I want you to go to was a moment that felt coincidental. A moment where you felt that you were at the right place at the right time. And was it coincidental? Were you guided by Source, God, your Creator, whatever you believe in? to visit your younger self. There's an age that popped into your head, 5, 7, 9. I want you to imagine your childhood room, and I want you to walk into that room and see your younger self sitting on that bed. I want you to sit down and be face to face with that little boy or little girl. I want you to feed them with all that you've accomplished in your life, all that you've done, all that you've overcome. They are hungry, and they've been missing you. I've done this. I've overcome that. I healed this. I built that. Show them what you've done. That's it. That's it. Now ask them for wisdom. Is there anything that little boy or little girl would tell you that can benefit you in your journey in the present moment? Ask them for wisdom. What would they say? I want you to look them in their eyes and I want you to repeat after me out loud. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. From the heart. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I give them a big hug, a big kiss. Not a farewell, but see you later on the back. Because they've been waiting for you. On your own time, at your own pace. Come back to Baby Yoda. There's tears all around the room. I want you to notice where your anxiety and stress is. There is none. As I put you into a beautiful state by getting you focused on what's right and all the blessings that you had in your life. I'm getting it all found on here. I went over time for that. But I want to end with this. Everything that we're going to teach you is a muscle, and if you don't use it, you what? How many of you would like to go a little bit deeper and exercise this muscle to get in your heart more? If that's okay, say yes. The only time I want you to pull out your phone, pull your phone really quickly and jump off stage. We're going to go for QR code for 59 seconds. 58, 57, throw it up. Here's the QR code. Exercise the muscle. I wish I had more time with you. I'm Nick Vujicic. God bless you.